What's up, Max for Diablo 4 video, and today we are talking about the best experience farm. Again, I know I've made a few videos about this, but Blizzard just put out a huge patch that changed the way that Nightmare Dungeons work, and particularly changed the amount of experience they get. Now, Nightmare Dungeons are now very much worth doing, but I want to talk about today what tiers of Nightmare Dungeons you should be doing, because now, instead of enemies not giving you any more XP past being 3 levels above you, enemies do give more XP. The dungeons for completing them, Nightmare Dungeons, give you more XP depending on the level, and the level of your glyph XP is going to be changing. And so today we're going to be talking about what level of Nightmare Dungeons you should be running, how to be doing them the most efficiently, the best Nightmare Dungeons to be running, and so on and so forth. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're going to talk about everything you need to know. Let's get right into it. So the main things we're going to be focusing on here from the patch are that they significantly increase the experience awarded for completing Nightmare Dungeons, and they significantly increase the experience gained from killing monsters in Nightmare Dungeons. Now, the increased experience awarded for completing Nightmare Dungeons isn't very much. Like, it's still like you do get a lot of experience, but completing a sigil that is 10 tiers higher than a sigil that's below is only about 20k experience, so it's pretty negligible. However, you are getting a significant chunk of experience when you complete Nightmare Dungeons. Now, the more important and interesting thing to talk about is that they increase the experience gained from killing monsters in Nightmare Dungeons. Now, if you did not know, prior to these changes, if you killed a monster that was 20 levels above you or 3 levels above you, you did not actually get any more experience from killing an enemy that was 20 levels above you. You get the exact same. Now, with these changes, it works differently. You are going to be gaining more experience for killing a higher monster than you are than killing a lower level monster. So the big question now is, should you be blasting lower level dungeon content and clearing it as fast as possible, or should you be going on higher level content and killing monsters a bit slower but getting the more experience? Now, we went and tested that theory, and we ran a tier 34 dungeon, and on a tier 34 dungeon, we did the exact same dungeon. I cleared every monster in both dungeons so that we were getting the same amount of experience. I ignored all events, any sort of conditionals, and we got 1.4 million experience from a tier 34. We got 70 glyph experience and about 166,000 experience for actually completing the dungeon. On a tier 46 of the exact same dungeon, so almost 10 tiers higher, I got about 1.8 million experience from clearing it, 94 glyph experience, and around 188,000 actual experience from clearing the dungeon. So what the heck do all these numbers mean? Now, from like timing them and looking at the experience, the best way to farm experience right now, and you can earn like very easily like 40 million experience an hour now, which is ridiculous. The best thing to be doing right now is to be farming dungeons that you can run efficiently. There is no point still in terms of experience values to run something where you're going to be slow and dying and taking your time. It's going to be better to run dungeons that are probably around 5 levels higher than you to the 10 level mark, depending on your build, depending on how you're feeling with your stuff. But if you can blast a 10 at the same speed that you're going to be blasting a 5, it's going to be better to do the 10. However, if you're going to be slowing down a bit, you're going to want to find a sweet spot where enemies, I'm assuming the sweet spot going to be about like 5 to 10 levels-ish higher than you. Now, the way to figure that out is whatever your glyph is, it's going to be that glyph level plus 54 if you're on World Tier 4. Now, the other interesting thing to note is the actual glyph level or the glyph experience that you're going to get. The number one like real incentive to run Nightmare Dungeons is leveling up your glyphs. Glyphs are going to give you so much damage in the end game, and the higher sigils will give you more experience. Now, it's not a ton more experience, but it's more. The like formula for sigil level is whatever sigil level you're going to be running times 2 plus 2. So, for example, on my tier 34, I got 70 glyph experience, aka 34 times 4, 68 plus 2 is 70. On the 46, we got 94 glyph experience. Now, where the XP gains get really crazy is when you start doing Nightmare Dungeons that are more efficient for XP, such as Blind Burrows. That is still a really good dungeon to run. I was doing a full clear, meaning clearing all the elites and the boss on my new Lightning Druid build, which, by the way, I just posted a build guide for. If you guys want to check that out, I'll have a pinned comment in the description to go watch this build video because it is insane. But we full clear Blind Burrows in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and we're getting around 40 million experience an hour. In contrast, on my Barbarian, which is a higher level, so it's getting more experience pre-buffs to this, my bard was getting about 8 mil experience an hour clearing Brian Burrows. So this is around a 5 times experience increase. It's absolutely crazy how much experience you can earn. People are going to be flying to level 100, or at least doing a lot faster. I'm curious if these like XP changes are going to stick around, because there's seriously so much. Now, showing on screen right now is a tier list of the best nightmare dungeons for experience. Now, this list is courtesy of Maxroll. I did not make this myself, so full credit to them. I'll have a link to the actual list in the description if you guys want to check it out. But these are like really, really efficient nightmare dungeons to farm, and you should be prioritizing stacking up these sigils to run them over and over again. Guys, that is going to do it for the video. In summary, there is no point in running normal dungeons for experience anymore. Normal dungeons are now trash for experience in terms of the absolute ludicrous amount of experience that you now get from Nightmare Dungeons, which is so good. Nightmare Dungeons are this game's version of Greater Rifts. They are the hardest content. They should be like giving you the rewards for doing them, and now they actually are. In fact, they're giving you like a ridiculous amount of rewards. I cannot wait to be like absolutely blasting up in levels on my characters. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. I will catch y'all in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.